Hello and welcome back to Secure Your Benefits. Thank you for tuning in on this important update, dated May 30, 2025. Today's video is especially critical for those of you who rely on Social Security and Medicare, because we're going over the most recent developments in the Medicare program and how they directly affect Social Security recipients in 2025. Whether you're already receiving benefits or planning your retirement, you need to know how these new changes might impact your monthly income, healthcare access, and overall financial well-being. Let's start with one of the most talked about changes: 2025's cost of living adjustment, also known as COLA. Social Security recipients received a 2.5% COLA increase beginning in January 2025. While this is certainly better than no increase at all, many of you have noticed that this bump is significantly smaller than the adjustments we saw over the past couple of years when inflation was at record highs. Just 2 years ago, we had an 8.7% COLA increase, and last year it was 3.2%. So comparatively, this year's increase might feel like a letdown, especially when we factor in the rising costs of basic needs like groceries, rent, and utilities. Now let's translate that to 5% increase into real dollars. The average Social Security check in 2024 was around $1,927 per month. With a 2.5% increase, the average monthly benefit has now gone up to roughly $1,976. That's about a $49 monthly increase, or around $588 per year. On the surface, that sounds like some good news. And this is where it gets tricky: Medicare premiums are also going up in 2025. That means the extra money you're getting from Social Security could be partially or entirely eaten up by rising healthcare costs, depending on your income level and the kind of Medicare coverage you have. Medicare Part B is often where people feel the biggest squeeze, and that's no exception this year. In 2024, the standard Part B premium was $174.70 per month. For 2025, that amount has risen to $185. That's an increase of more than $10 a month, or about $120 a year. And remember, this is just for the standard rate. If you're a higher income earner, you may have to pay even more due to something called the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount, or IRMAA. More on that in a moment. The Part B deductible has also increased, from $240 in 2024 to $257 in 2025. This means you'll be paying more out of pocket before your Medicare coverage even kicks in. And since most Social Security recipients are automatically enrolled in Medicare Part B with the premium deducted from their monthly check, many of you may not even notice that your increase in Social Security has quietly disappeared before it reaches your bank account. For those enrolled in Medicare Part D for prescription drug coverage, there are several changes worth noting. One of the most significant developments this year is the implementation of a $2,000 annual cap on out-of-pocket spending for prescription medications under Medicare Part D. This is a game changer for many seniors who rely on expensive medications to manage chronic conditions. In previous years, out-of-pocket costs could run much higher, especially after entering the so-called donut hole coverage gap. That coverage gap, by the way, has now been completely eliminated. That means beneficiaries will pay no more than 25% of the cost for medications after meeting their deductible, and they'll stop paying once they reach the $2,000 limit. This change is especially welcome news for people who have been struggling with the high cost of medications like insulin. Speaking of insulin, the price cap remains in place for 2025. If you are using insulin covered under Medicare Part D, or if you use a pump covered under Part B, you will not pay more than $35 per month for your insulin. That $35 cap applies to each covered insulin product, making insulin more accessible and affordable for millions of people with diabetes. Now let's revisit that topic of higher income Medicare beneficiaries and IRMAA. If your modified adjusted gross income exceeds $106,000 as an individual or $212,000 as a married couple filing jointly, you will pay more for both Part B and Part D. These income thresholds are based on your tax return from 2 years ago, so for 2025, the government will use your 2023 income to determine what you owe. Depending on your income bracket, your Part B premium could be as high as $628.90 per month, and you'll also pay an additional charge on top of your Part D plan's premium. For individuals in the upper income brackets, that can add up quickly. So, what does this all mean for Social Security recipients? The short answer is your income might technically go up due to the COLA, but your actual take home amount could stay the same or even decrease due to rising Medicare costs. That's why it's so important to evaluate your Medicare options during the annual enrollment period, which takes place from October 15 to December 7 each year. You may be able to find a plan with better drug coverage or lower out-of-pocket costs, especially with the new reforms in place. There are also some policy-level updates that are worth paying attention to. One major change is the recent passage of the Social Security Fairness Act. This legislation, signed into law in January 2025, eliminates two controversial provisions, the Windfall Elimination Provision, WEP, and the Government Pension Offset, GPO. These rules had reduced Social Security benefits for many people who also received pensions from non-Social Security covered government jobs, such as teachers, police officers, and other public employees. With these provisions now eliminated, hundreds of thousands of retirees are seeing an increase in their Social Security benefits for the first time in years. Another promising update comes from the Social Security Administration itself. The SSA has been undergoing a digital transformation to better serve the public. With a record number of people aging into eligibility for benefits, the system was experiencing severe backlogs and long wait times. In response, the agency has introduced a new artificial intelligence-based phone system designed to reduce call wait times. In 2024, average hold times reached an all-time high of over 100 minutes. With the new AI system in place, response times have improved significantly, and more people are able to get the assistance they need faster. On a related note, the SSA has also updated its verification procedures. Previously, people were required to show up in person to verify their identity for certain benefit applications, including disability and Medicare. That policy has now been revised. Applicants who are unable to complete their claims through the online portal are now allowed to verify their identity over the phone, which is a much-needed change for people with mobility issues or limited access to transportation. Now, while we're discussing income and benefits, there's something else Social Security recipients under full retirement age need to be aware of: the earnings limit. If you're collecting Social Security benefits before reaching your full retirement age, which is currently 67 for people born in 1960 or later, you're subject to an annual earnings limit. In 2025, that limit is $23,400. If you earn more than this amount, your benefits will be reduced by $1 for every $2 you earn above the threshold. This reduction is only temporary, though. Once you reach full retirement age, the SSA recalculates your benefit and adds back what was withheld. It's also important to mention that the amount required to earn a Social Security credit, also called a quarter of coverage, has increased to $1,810 in 2025. That means you need to earn $7,240 throughout the year to get the full 4 credits required to build toward your eligibility for retirement, disability, and survivor benefits. You need a total of 40 credits over your lifetime to qualify for retirement benefits, so tracking your work history is more important than ever. Looking ahead, there are ongoing discussions in Washington about the long-term future of both Social Security and Medicare. While nothing has been finalized yet, several proposals are being considered, including gradually increasing the retirement age, adjusting the formula for benefits, and raising the cap on taxable income for Social Security contributions. These are complicated and politically sensitive issues, so we'll continue monitoring developments closely and keep you updated here on Secure Your Benefits. In summary, the updates to Medicare in 2025 present a mixed bag for Social Security recipients. On the one hand, the new cap on prescription drug costs and the elimination of the donut hole are substantial wins. On the other hand, rising Part B premiums and deductibles may offset much of the COLA increase you've received. The repeal of WEP and GPO is excellent news for public sector retirees, and the improvements in SSA services show that some progress is being made. However, staying informed, reviewing your Medicare plan each year, and understanding how changes to Social Security affect you personally remains more important than ever. If you found today's video helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing to Secure Your Benefits so you never miss an important update. We're here to help you navigate your retirement and healthcare journey with confidence, clarity, and the most up-to-date information available. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, and we'll do our best to answer them in a future video. Thanks again for watching, take care, and we'll see you next time.